If you've worked with me, you know how much I love and feel it's a necessity for songs to have what I call second melodies, which can also be called the riff, or in some cases, some people call them the producer's hook. So what you would have is you'd have the melody, and then underneath the melody, instead of maybe just chords, which certainly you can have chords, you can have a riff or a synth arpeggiation or a signature bass line, which is a secondary melody. And the two of those together create counterpoint. And the brain loves to hear modern counterpoint. So I have a theory on why we're hearing less and less second melodies, and why people aren't thinking about them as much as they should. And it's simply because of this. If you were in the 70s or 80s or whatever decade or genre, often you were in a band, and especially in rock music, Axl Rose would not be on stage doing his thing and Slash just strumming chords. You know, if you were in the Eurythmics and Annie Lennox was doing her thing and you were Dave Stewart, who's also a rock star, Dave Stewart would just not be playing chord. Those people are stars themselves, and they need something to do. Versus what's happening today is that usually it's one person, one producer, who's doing all the parts, who's playing all the instruments and doing all the arrangements, and there's no other musical elements coming in. So therefore, a lot of times the producers, and if you are a producer, I would start thinking about this very strongly, is to think about what you can give the guitar player to do. What can you give the synthesizer, the synth player to do, a keyboardist? What can you give the bass player something to do so they can stand out on stage and be stars themselves, and thus they need second melodies to perform? Thanks.